This is an old standby. I've talked about it before. I'm going to talk about it again. It is the Matua Sauvignon Blanc, 2016 from Marlborough, New Zealand. It says its personality is crisp, clean, and slightly citrus. And it says to enjoy it in the sunshine with anything from the sea. Is there anything better than just a chilled, frosty glass of white wine in the summertime? I think not. So today I'm going to do a chatty get ready with me. Probably don't even need to say a chatty get ready with me because pretty much all of my get ready with me's end up being chatty. Who's to say what's going to come out of this noggin today? And we are going to do a nude glam look. I already did my foundation on my concealer and all of that because sometimes I feel like that's just so tedious to do on camera. So as always, you will find everything that I used on my face down below in the description box. The next step after my concealer and my foundation is going to be my cream blush. I'm going to use my cloud paint in Storm. With nude looks, I feel like you really want to make sure that you have some color in your face because we're going to be doing a nude lip. Sometimes that can wash you out if the rest of your face doesn't have a little bit of color. So what have you guys been watching lately? I have been really trying to bulk up on my Netflix viewing. I don't know why I just said that like it's something admirable, like I'm bulking up on my reading or something. I've been trying like really hard to just really dig into some TV lately, you know what I mean? So next I'm going to set my face and I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter powder. This is like the heaviest setting powder I use, which I noticed some people is like, what in the actual hell? But here's the deal. I just like using a perfecting powder to set my face. I was using translucent powder for a long time, like all day, air day. Not that there's anything wrong with that and not that I won't do it again. I just feel like this gives my skin a much more natural look and I don't feel cakey as hell. This is one of my favorite powders. Charlotte Tilbury can really do no wrong in my eyes. Set those under eyes, I'm telling you right now. So I'm kind of thinking this is like a sexy going out sort of date night look situation. I think a lot of people think that there's some rule that when you go out at night and you do a more dramatic look or something like that, you have to really cake on the makeup. I've never really understood that. I don't change my makeup coverage if I'm going out at night. If anything, I feel like the lighting is dimmer at night and more forgiving, so no need to really pack it on, you know? I'm just saying even when I go more dramatic, I don't necessarily feel like I have to make my makeup heavier. Does that make sense? Really, at the end of the day, the whole point is makeup doesn't have rules. You know what I mean? Like, live your damn life. I'm gonna go ahead and bronze my face up a little bit. I'm going to be using my ColourPop pressed powder bronzer in Afternoon Delight. I'm actually gonna go ahead and use my blush brush for this because I just want a really well blended, soft bronzed situation. But anyway, back to what I've been watching on the boob tube. I watched that Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron. Guys, what the hell with that title? Like, are we really supposed to be saying that and texting that to people? I can't even remember what it was. Extremely vile, dangerously terrible, and awfully stupid. Intensely vicious, super upsetting, really bad. I don't know what it's called. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's the movie where Zac Efron plays Ted Bundy. I've already seen the Bundy tapes. I was obsessed. I'm not saying I'm obsessed with serial killers, nor am I condoning their behavior, but they are fascinating. Okay? Okay. I mean, I don't want to say I'm an expert on Ted Bundy, but I want to say I've watched a lot of shit on him. I love Zac Efron. I really do. I think he's a very, very talented man. I just feel like the casting in this movie was a little questionable. While I think Zac Efron did an okay job, I just feel like he physically did not resemble Ted Bundy. I mean, obviously Ted Bundy was handsome, but like he was more of like spindly, like pasty, nerdy, sort of wispy handsome. He wasn't giving you like a meaty, buff, tan, hot, beefcake situation. That's what Zac Efron's giving me. It really took me out of it. I'm also a person who's kind of obsessed with like the 60s and 70s in that time period. I love movies from that time period. I love TV shows from that time period. I just think it's fascinating. People in that time period spoke differently. People didn't speak the way we speak now. And I just felt like Zac Efron was giving me a little bit of an overly contemporary 2019 version of Ted Bundy, and I want the original Ted Bundy. Also, don't get me wrong, I love me some John Malkovich. If you have seen footage of the actual judge from that trial, he is a very large, good old boy, super Southern man. When you think of those adjectives, you don't necessarily think John Malkovich. Again, John Malkovich was giving me John Malkovich in that role. And I love me some John Malkovich, but also not accurate. Obviously, casting should have called me up and asked me for my opinion, but they didn't, so here we are. I had some people come for me in the comments about how much blush and bronzer I've been putting on my chin. And you know what? I think I'm gonna add some more. So for my eyes, I'm going to be using my Violet Voss Pro palette. And it's a really beautiful palette. It has a lot of warm tones, a lot of neutral tones. So I thought it would be perfect for this look today. I did go ahead and prime my eyelids with my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. First, I'm just gonna go in with this really neutral shade right here. It's called Thanks a Latte. It's basically the shade of my eyelids. So that's where we're gonna start. I guess I'm kind of on like a horror kick because I also watched The Perfection with Allison Williams. I can't really tell you about this movie because I don't want to ruin anything. I was messed up for days after seeing that movie. Also, Steven Weber is in it, and who doesn't love Steven Weber? Oh my god, Wings! I freaking love that show! The next shade I'm going to use is Bestie. It's just like a really nice transition shade. We're keeping this a very sort of chic, subtle nude glam situation. So now I'm gonna go in with brownie points and just kind of intensify things a little. So I will say, as my channel grows, I'm starting to get some comments. Most of you guys are so kind and thoughtful, and I really love the community that I'm growing here. I never imagined it would go that way, so I really am so grateful, but I just have to say that, whew, guys, I'm starting to get some doozies. I just wish people would think before they write. You know what I mean? I've actually had this discussion with several of my friends who are also beauty YouTubers and who have bigger channels. We're all kind of in the same place in terms of talking about negative comments. I feel like there is this shared viewpoint out there that if you're a person who chooses to be in the public eye, no matter how small or big you are, you somehow deserve whatever you get. That people get to treat you however they want, they get to say whatever shitty thing they want to you, and that you just kind of deserve it, that you should take it because, well, you're in the public eye. What did you expect? I just think that is nonsense. I can't remember which of my YouTuber friends shared this philosophy with me, but I thought it was so smart and such a great way to look at things that I'm gonna repeat it. My channel is like my house. It's something I've created. I want to invite positivity into my house. You wouldn't let someone just come into your house, shit all over your floor, and then walk back out the door without you saying anything. I look at my channel the same way. Negativity and rude comments in my comment section is just unacceptable. Filter yo thoughts. Okay, so side note, now I'm gonna go in with this really pretty sort of pink champagne-y shade. It's called Poof, and I'm just gonna pat it in with my finger. It's that old adage that we all know. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Here is an example. I had someone comment in the comment section of one of my recent videos. It was when my hair was like a medium brown. She basically told me that my hair color is aging me 10 years. She's not trying to be critical. She's just giving me some advice. And that she knows the upkeep is hard, but I should really learn to color my hair at home then. I actually have some advice as well. How about you have a big cold glass of shut the hell up? We as creators spend so many hours editing our own faces. And let me tell you how not fun that shit is. You are watching yourself over and over and over again. So I guarantee you anything that I put up on this screen for people to view is something that I watched a million times over and I feel comfortable with. So someone coming in and giving me advice, I don't really want your advice, okay, thanks, bye. I know that I'm always gonna deal with asshole people to a certain extent in the comments. I understand that comes with the territory, but I thought it can't hurt to just share my philosophy on, you know, being a decent human being. So basically what I did was like a medium matte brown smoky eye, and then I went in with a really pretty sort of pinky champagne shade and patted it over the top. I don't know if you can see the effect, but it's really subtle. But I am gonna go back in with the brownie points and just kind of intensify the outer corner just a little teeny bit. Really, really blending everything so it just looks flawless. So we're done with the shadow. Now we're going to move on to liner. I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Infallible Eye Pencil in the shade brown. I really do think that a dark chocolatey brown is just the perfect liner for almost everybody. I mean, there are moments when I use a black liner. You're going to get the same kind of effect with a chocolate brown, but it's just going to soften things and is often more flattering than just black. If you guys are looking for a really nice drugstore liner, this is my favorite one. It's the closest drugstore product I can find that's similar in nature to my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eyeliner. I have small to medium eyes, so I feel like my eyes just pop more if I draw the line out past my corner just a little bit. I was chatting up a storm, so I also wanted to let you know that I hit my brow bone with a highlighter. I used this brightener from my Cover FX palette. It's just like a white champagne highlight. Now I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade dark brown. I've also, of of course, been watching whatever they put on the freaking crew TV here on the ship. And I have to say, they're kind of nailing it. There's so much variety. I'm into it. I end up watching a lot of movies that I would never ever choose to watch because, well, it's all I got here. I watched a movie called Hot Tub Time Machine. It's kind of like a Back to the Future situation, and admittedly, don't come for me. I never really loved Back to the Future, even though I love Michael J. Fox, but you know, it was a little bit before my time, and also when I was growing up, I was such a girly girl. I was not into like boy things, which meant anything that just wasn't the most girly thing you've ever heard of. So now I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Gel in the shade Dark Brown. This product is super pigmented, so you do have to use a little bit of a light hand or else it's gonna be not pretty. This brow right here is like, I mean, I look good, but like I could be better. Come on over, Dip Brow Gel. My eyebrows are uneven. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but my left eyebrow is like, you can see it right here. It's more raised than the right, which drives me freaking insane. So that's why sometimes I feel like I have to like overly feather this brow and overdraw it because this brow is so arched. I mean, honest, whatever. There comes a point when you just have to give up on your eyebrows. You're like, all right, I spent like 15 minutes on them. It's not gonna get any better than this. It is what it is. Damn, that's crisp. And I'm gonna use my current favorite mascara. This is the ColourPop BFF mascara. I am like obsessed with this mascara. I just feel like it gives me all the drama, everything I need. Question for you guys, do you have a favorite eyelash curler? Because I have had this one for years and years and I don't even know what it is. What is it? Oh, it's Shiseido. This one is like one of the most famous eyelash curlers, I feel like, but if you guys have like a magical one, I wanna know about it. Sometimes I do so many coats of my mascara, my arm starts to go numb. Is that bad? Now we're just gonna go in with a little bit more blush. I'm going to use my Note blush in the shade Desert Rose, which continues to be one of my favorite shades. I feel like I'm gonna be using the hell out of this come the fall. Just kind of touching on the apples because we already have a lot of color on our cheeks. So now we're gonna move on to my favorite part of this look, which is the lips. We're keeping to a very sort of chic nude situation. I know this doesn't look nude in the tube, but the thing about lip glosses is they can look really intense in the tube, but when you put them on your lip, depending on your lip color, they can look completely different. This is NARS in Super Vixen, and this is actually a shade that I learned about from Michelle Wong, and I'm so grateful to her because it's one of my favorite lip gloss shades. I love this shade. I think it is universally flattering. The reason I'm starting with this is because it technically does fall in the nude category. If you went heavy with it, it would look a lot darker. I like to start with a little bit of pigment on the lips. I am going to top this with a different lip gloss as well to really drive it home. But because we're doing like a nude glam look, I don't want the lips to look dead. I want them to sparkle. Then I'm gonna go in with one of my all-time favorite lip glosses. This is Buxom in Celeste. It's the perfect lip topper. I can't think of a more perfect nude glow lip, and it is straight up always going to give you Angelina Jolie lips. Okay, and last but not least, I'm gonna add some highlighter. This is ColourPop Super Shock highlighter in On the Cusp. It's part of the Zodiac collection that Kathleen Lights did for ColourPop. And the best way to apply ColourPop's Super Shock highlighters is with your finger and then very gently buff them into your skin with your finger. I'm gonna go in and do my Cupid's bow. So this is the finished nude glam look. I hope you guys had a fun time here with me today. If you guys are enjoying my content, please do subscribe, share, and like, and click that little bell right beneath the video. It's the notification bell with a little parentheses around it that is going to alert you anytime I drop a new video. Buxom lip gloss in Celeste. Good job. Okay, bye.